Hello and welcome. If you are new to this channel or you're new to me, hello, I am Bree. And I named this Soulfully Here Oracle because the intention of us sitting together today is to really bring our full soul's eminence into our body. So basically, my intention with this time we're going to share together is that we will gain the inspiration, the remembrance, the tune-in necessary. Good morning, Pat Star 777. And good afternoon, good evening, good whenever it is to everyone joining. I'm doing this a little earlier than I normally do it because I was just too excited. And I really wanted to get on and do this. Okay, so this is what I'm going to share just to get it started. I'm going to close my eyes and just let my guide speak through me to get it started. So we're asking everyone that's going to be joining today that you find a comfortable position. This can be seated, this can be laying down, this can be while you're, what they're showing me as gentle tasks. So like, let's say you're folding laundry, many hours under my belt folding laundry and listening to podcasts and listening to things. They're sharing that this is a session that you can do that. So it's possible we'll drop into some light language healings, some activations. It's possible that we're going to be accessing information from the Akashic records, if that's pertinent. And if you want to, be receiving the light codes, the healing light codes that are going to be embedded in the transmission, through you sitting here, through you hearing me, through you seeing me, through you being with this space, being in this space. If you'd like to receive that, just say yes. And if you want to be an observer, be an observer. It's always your choice. And the guides are kind of just coming through me to remind us that these are always universal transmissions. So it's the energy far beyond what the words are going to be. It's going to be a felt sensation. I'm just sort of asking them. I already knew this, and we already knew this, so they're sharing this because they're sharing that a lot of you are participating in healing events, a lot of you are in some sort of membership, you're maybe working with a healer, you're maybe working with a therapist, maybe you're working with a naturopath, maybe you're working with what some of you, they may call themselves shamans. If you're working in some facet to deepen into your soulful embodiment, they're sharing, realize that there's more to be accessed there. And here. Okay. All right. That's it for their intro. So I'm just going to go ahead and call upon any of our highest Christ Light spirit guides that want to join us today, that might be able to help us deepen into our soulful embodiment today. Okay. We've got the archangels present in the space as well. Quite a few. I can't even name them all because it would take too long. Okay. And we've got the dragons here too. Beautiful. So we have two decks we're going to be working with. Those of you that were here last week, we did a different style where I had pulled the piles ahead of the reading. This time we're going to go back to our old style. So we're going to be live grabbing the cards. We're probably going to do some games. I'll just share with you how the games work in case you're going to participate in those. So I might hold a deck up at a certain time and say, Whatever number comes up for you, let me know in the comments, and then we'll kind of do little mini reads within the larger read. Now, what they're showing about the mini reads, it's important for all of you to know, even though, let's say I pull up a deck and you say 7, and then I'm reading whatever that 7th card was, they're sharing all the mini readings that are going to be in those individual readings are going to be like sibling transmissions. So basically, even though maybe the 7 card is most predominant for you, the other cards that are in that little mini read are going to be the sibling transmissions. Okay, so we have the Soul Journey deck. We've worked with this one quite a bit here. This is James Van Praagh. We have the Archangel Animal deck, and that's Diane Cooper and Marjolaine Krucht. Oh, my candle just did something funny, didn't it? Okay. So the reason I'm using the animal deck is because yesterday I watched a YouTube video, Alunya. If you don't know of Alunya yet, I would suggest you look into her work. She did a dragon's breath ceremony, and it was basically this really powerful transmission that she offered all about, oh, Joey, you were there? Cool. So she gave this beautiful, there's these stories that have been passed on of the animals that are part of the astrological animals and how they come in a row. And I'm not going to speak more to it because she does such a beautiful job. If you resonate with this transmission, or even if you don't, I would highly suggest you take a look at that video. The dragon's breath that she takes us through, it's very similar to fire breath, or there's a few different names for this, but basically you're moving up your Kundalini energies. And what I feel that we're transforming on the planet right now is something that she spoke to very beautifully, which is our transformation of the reptilian brain. So if you're here and you're doing any kind of healing work, any kind of healing anything, you're probably going to start to notice when your reptilian brain comes into play. And what we're really doing right now through these healing practices, through these ancient modalities, is transforming that reptilian brain into the dragon brain. So basically, that part of you that used to nag at you and put you down and discourage you and disempower you was your reptilian brain at play. And so when we're doing these healing practices, we're transforming that beautiful part of our brain into a higher octave, into a more dragon-like embodiment and expression where we are free, where we see that there is darkness and yet we do not have fear of it. Oh, it feels we have the Abraham Collective with me now. So we're going to get started with a card. Oh boy, okay. Just going to let this calibrate in my system because it's a lot coming through. There's a lot of new people here and you're all very connected. Yep. Staying grounded while we rise this energy up is so crucial. You know, when we're raising our vibration and we're raising our frequency, that's a beautiful process, right? It's a beautiful process. We all know the feeling. We all enjoy it. The Abraham Collective. Okay, this is what I'm tuning into. I'll tell you what I'm tuning into here. If you know Abraham Hicks, you're familiar. But this is a group. Again, it feels like this is 88,000 in this group, of this collective. And they're here to help. They're here to help us while we're raising our frequency and vibration to stay grounded. 1 foot on earth, 1 in the water. Beautiful. I can feel that more than I can speak to it, but I feel that. You like my microphone? Thank you. I made a little investment in my business this year because people were telling me that my sound quality wasn't great. and I'm one who can hear constructive criticism and take action accordingly. So today, Eric, we're going to be doing a lot of work in this stream, this spinal fluid that flows along our spine. We're going to be really connecting with the dragon ley lines. Barefoot. Thank you, Master Michelle. That's a really great reminder for all of us here. Hello, Mel. That being barefoot is so powerful. Some of you are going to think like it's just like this, I don't know, not important thing. If you can be barefoot every day for a little while, even in your home, please do. It's going to do more for you than I can explain in words. Okay, 7. We're getting a first animal. Okay. And then for those of you that are new here, just so you know what I'll be kind of doing, and the animal we're getting upside down, whale. Wow, getting right into it. Woo! Live as a fully conscious being. I'm going to say that again. Live as a fully, hello Joshua, conscious being. Live as a fully conscious being. So this is called Soulfully here, Oracle. And the archangels that are supporting this message with this whale is the Archangel Mary and Archangel Jules. You just saw a whale? Oh gosh, we're so connected. Okay, beautiful. Welcome whales into the space. Welcome dolphins into the space. Okay. How does Yeshua, Jesus Christ, fit into with all of this? I can speak to that with the whales present. And then just so everyone knows in the comments, if anything starts to be a little bit weighted on the, I'll say, if it's weighted in judgment, if it's weighted in criticism that is not constructive, I'll have to remove you from the group. I really don't like doing that. It's really not my favorite thing to do, but we're here to heal. So I love Jesus. I love Yeshua. I love this beautiful being that came and embodied unconditional love on planet Earth. I feel he's one of the ascended masters that brought through codes that we're still trying to understand and unpack today. 2,000 plus years after. So, but this is also what I want to share about this, because I want to stay balanced, and I'm also trying to stop my tendency of people pleasing and say that Christ consciousness is fully coming onto the planet right now, and we're all a part of it. And it's not just about Jesus in this one Jesus life that Jesus lived. It's far more than that. Because we're stepping into soulful embodiment that is driven by love, not fear. So what I wanted to share, it's the age of illumination. And what I want to share about my connection with Yeshua is that Yeshua has shown me in many ways that it's going to be a little vulnerable for some here maybe, but I'll share anyway. It was never his intention to be worshipped or idealized or said to be the only child of God. In fact, that was pretty much the opposite of his teachings. He came to unify. He came to show us that we're all a fractal of God. He came to show us that we are in a world where the fear can become convincing, and yet we're so powerful that none of it can touch us. So he really wanted to empower us. And so do the whales. But Jesus has also shown me that there's many, many paths for you to reconvene with Source. He is not the only path. Some of you might resonate more with other ascended beings, and that's okay. It feels like he's sharing with me. He doesn't want you to feel this God can speak all languages and to all cultures. Yeah, so it feels like Jesus is expressing to me in my consciousness that he wanted you all to know that you're love and you're one with God. While you're here, too. And he also wants us all to know that heaven on earth is accessible here now. We don't have to wait until we pass from this world to experience that. And he's reminding me that, heaven and hell are consciousness states. So they're chosen. And no soul is robbed of that choice. There's going to be beings that try to convince you that you don't have that choice. There's going to be beings in this world that convince you you don't have a choice. You do. And it's always a choice. Thank you, Avery. Okay, so now we're going to get a Soul Journey card, card 3. And some of you are moving some energy. Okay, this is what I'm seeing. I'm going to explain it to you. Some of you are doing some really major healing work. We're getting the grief card. Seems to be needed here. So, I'm definitely not here to talk about the Bible the whole time. The Bible is a translation of more ancient texts. That's all I'll say there. Hi, Anthony. Okay, so what I was seeing for some of you that are doing some energy work in this session is I was seeing the heart chakra. So tune in with me now energetically so you can get a deeper tune into the quantum reality of life. So between your heart chakra and your sacral plexus chakra, which is a few inches beneath your belly button at your center. Really close to the lower dantian, for those of you that are practicing those types of energy healing modalities. What I was shown was right now we're amidst this major upgrade between these two chakras, between the sacral and the heart. And so it's a really deep transformative process. And grief is a part of this, big part of this. Because what we're doing right now is basically what they're showing me is this circular motion now. So imagine this circle that goes out in front, out in your back, and that connects from your sacral to your heart. Because this is the flow of energy that the angels, they're heating me up because they're healing all of you. Hope you guys are ready for your healing today. But what they're showing me is with the grief, okay, we're sort of taking this energy in the heart that was also associated with what I'll say is the storage mechanism of the third eye. A lot of this grief is processing through our ancestry in the sacral chakra. So basically we're taking, and we're also experiencing timeline convergence right now, which is a little bit of a trail I don't want to go down. Sacral is moving around and heating up. Beautiful. So some healing is happening. Pat, that's beautiful. And if any time in this session you have a chakra that's humming to you, singing to you, vibrating to you, saying, "Oh, remember me over here," put your hand on it. Okay, so what they're showing me is as we're really doing this, right now we're doing this work for our ancestry in many ways. So basically what we're doing is feeling the emotions that were not felt by our ancestors, which, thank you. Thank you. Give yourself a hug. Right here, right now. Stop whatever you're doing and give yourself a hug. Because what we're doing when we're stepping into this new paradigm and we're shifting in vibrational frequency is not spiritual bypassing. So we're feeling a lot of these emotions that our ancestors, this is what I'm going to share. At different times on the planet, emotions were viewed through a paradigm lens, a collective consciousness paradigm lens that has shifted and changed many, many, many times. And there were times on the planet where it was not socially accepted to have grief. There was times on the planet where it was not socially acceptable to be sad, to be worn out. There were times on the planet, many, and you might consider yourself in one right now. But this new paradigm invites us to feeling our feelings so that we can transmute them, so that we can alchemize them. And so we do not have to pass these ancestral karmic patterns to the next generation and the next generation and the next generation. So I just want to commend all of you. It feels like this card is coming up to commend all of you. Some of you are clearing from the third eye. When that happens, I want you to gaze upon this candle here. Okay, so we're feeling the feelings. And wow, you guys, gals, everyone, I've experienced this, and they're showing me that many of you have too. But basically, when you finally allow yourself to just move through those emotions, as hard as they may be, and this could be a day in bed, this could be a day of crying. They're showing me what comes after that is cleansed. You are cleansed. Your emotional body is cleansed and reintegrated. So allow the emotions. That's what they're sharing with me. Okay, and Mother Mary is sharing with me a message as well. She's emitting a lot of pink light. She must be the one that told me to light this pink candle. I accept my purpose. Beautiful. So let's, Master Michelle, let's all say that right now. I accept my purpose. I accept my purpose. And then for those of you that are like, I don't know what my purpose is, I hear you. You have a purpose, dears. Dear ones, you have a purpose. And if you don't know what it is right now, let it just be love. Let it just be joy. Let it just be expressing yourself authentically. Let it be just accepting yourself. Because when you accept yourself, everything unlocks. And you also hand the permission to others outside of you that have been sitting there judging themselves that whole time, maybe for years. And now they're like, well, she accepted herself, or he accepted herself, or they accepted theirself. And that feels nice. Maybe I'll try. You're going to hand permission slips. So don't think it's just for you. When you learn to love yourself and trust yourself, and you remember to trust yourself, you remember. You remember. No, it's helping the whole world. I know some of you are like, well, I have this mother-in-law, or this friend, or this relative, or this whoever, that whenever I accept myself, they judge me. Because they're judging themselves. They don't know anything else to do. You can let it go. And then for those in the world that I'm going to bring a new card for this. 3 again. For those that we Cool. Love breaking that grief wall. Then you find a whole new band of waters that were waiting for you to make it across that moat. The guilt card. Didn't think this was going to be so much shadow work today, but you know what? It's all the same thing. It's just reciprocals. So I release any belief that no longer assists in my soul growth. So Mother Mary's here, and she's helping us remember this about guilt. Really, really important. If you take anything away from this, please let it be this portion of the transmission. Some of you, guilt is holding you back in more ways than you even are aware of. So I want you to first scan within yourself. There's something I'm excited to do that I want to do, but I'm not doing it because of guilt. What is that thing? What is it? Hi, Jen. What's the thing? I'll read the Akashic Records. So it seems like some of you are, it's going to be a tricky one to share, but I'll share. Why not? Why not be soulfully here? Some of you are wanting to leave jobs. Some of you are wanting to leave relationships. Some of you are wanting to move. Some of you are wanting to take up your passion project on the side or full time. But you're not doing it because of guilt. And so what I want you to scan is, yeah, if that resonates. If not, you don't really need to scan anything. But if it resonates, whoever it is that you're feeling is going to make you feel guilty, right? Okay, someone's coming up in your consciousness. Someone's like, you're like, oh, but this person will judge me, or this person will guilt me, or this person will, but. Are they you? Are they in your shoes? Are they going to live your life? Are they going to come jump in your body and live your life? I mean, they're not going to. Because they're not you. So, okay. They don't want me to share a lot more on this. They don't want me to get wordy with it. But feel the energy. Where can you release some of this guilt? And where can you So yeah, this applies to you, Jen, and it applies to anyone that's like considering moving. These family members of yours that you feel are just holding you back or holding you down or holding you from whatever's next. Remember, at the coriest of them, it is coming from love, but there's ancestral stuff going on. So I'm sharing that because we're not to these people that are guilting us or shaming us, and we all have them. Let's be real about it. I mean, we're on planet Earth, but it's not about like spiting them or getting them to understand that guilting you is wrong. That's probably not going to happen. I'm part of my soul is in the angelic realms, but I'm here as a human, and I'm telling you right now, if you try to get someone to stop guilting you, it's just probably not going to happen. You got to do it yourself. So basically, this guilt, which is fear in sheep's clothing, we have the guilt because we're afraid we're going to get kicked out of the tribe or the family. I'll be the one to strip us bare with that one. But know that in the soul of every single individual that you're thinking of right now or that's coming up right now, their higher self wants you happy. Believe it or not. Doesn't matter how skewed up their ego has gotten. Doesn't matter how riddled they are in ancestral trauma and wounding. Their soul wants your soul to ascend. Your ancestors, believe it or not, they want you to ascend. You're connected. Don't you see? We're all connected. When someone wants to lower another, that's their ego. It is not their soul. So let that be what allows you to forgive as you step into your passion and wherever it is your soul is leading you. Your soul is meant to lead you, not someone else's ego. I'll say that again. Your soul is here to lead you, not someone else's ego. So might you have a period where people are mad at you and they're guilting you about what you're choosing? Just had 3 years of it. Hello. We forgive. If you want to feel light and right, we forgive. Okay. I'm going to get an animal. 4. How's everyone doing? How's everyone feeling? We just talked about some topics. And we got the pig, the last animal in the zodiac. The last one to make it across the river. For those of you that are going to go watch that Alunia transmission. So pigs come from the Pleiades. Me too. Mm-hmm. So pigs, along with rats and even, eagles, there's many animals that are here to clean up our laziness and to play a very, very important role. And let me tell you, the souls of these animals, they know what they're doing when they come here. Okay. Very smart. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to turn off this fireplace. Can you all hear the rain in the background at all? Like wind and rain? Maybe, maybe not. But it feels like we're switching to this more water element of the reading. A tiny bit. Cool. If it really were super automated, I could just like turn up that nature sound, but in truth, we like it more organic. Oof, I'm sharing some treasures here deep into the words. So it's time to do another card. It feels like this is going to anchor something for us. Imagination. Yeah, this feels important. Okay. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. I don't do astrology chart readings. So before I channel on the imagination stuff. Astrology does come up in my services, my one-to-one services, but I do not plan it. And what I will say is in my mind, I'm not an astrological expert. I channel things about astrology, and then I kind of go, my mind goes, is that even right? Because I don't really know about it in my mind anyway. But the energy does. So the way that I tune into astrology is that maybe I'll be in a reading with one of you, and a planet will come in. And I'll start feeling how this planet works with you. That's how it will typically come in for me. So I see that we are, and we're going to use our imagination to go into this right now. Okay, now astrology, qigong, energy healing, channeling, kundalini yoga, breath work. All these things are modalities for us to fully embody our soul. But they're not to be, and this is how I feel about how Jesus was expressing to me, we're not to pick one and make it this like end all be all of everything. We're really meant to here to be exploring. And we're meant to be getting to know our energy body and Tai Chi and Qigong and working with the chakras and working with the meridians and the nadis. All of this will do that for you. But what they're showing me about astrology, at least as it pertains to this transmission, and yes, constantly expanding. Mark, yep. So it's holisticism. I don't think I've ever heard that word. I love that. Interconnectedness. So what I'm seeing about astrology in our solar system is that the sun is at the center, right? So we can sort of imagine our soul is that sun at the center. And these planets are all part of us. So even though our free will, let's say, is generated from that sun in the center, which is our soul, we're still in this scape. And we have these planets that are here emitting specific frequencies and working with us in specific ways. So the way that I tune into this is when you pull up your natal chart, and I would suggest everyone do this if you're playful, if you like mysticism and you like holistic healing, it's worth your time. But you can go, I think it's astro.com, where you can get the free natal chart, but you put in your time of birth, where you were born, and you're going to see how the planets were when you came in. With your soul came in to the planet, that root chakra starts, magic is starting to form as your soul is being brought into the planet. Your soul picked that natal chart. Your soul picked it. Not like sitting at a table with papers, it's much more than that. But when you see your natal chart, you're going to see the snapshot, the blueprint, the configuration that you're going to keep coming back to again and again. And it's going to help you. Mel, I had a feeling that you've got a lot of expertises under your belt, don't you? I feel it. I know it. And so imagination is coming in right when astrology is coming in, because we're being reminded, play with this, people. They're being funny through me. I think I have Bashar again. Okay. Let me attune my frequencies just a moment. So play with it. It's not about taking imagination inspires creation. And the other thing I want to share about imagination is that, and this is like something that will alleviate some of you. Some of you, especially that are channels and they're getting downloads and they're getting things coming on in. Yep, is that you? So when the stuff is coming in, it's also coming in to the collective consciousness. So I'm saying this because some of you are getting channeled messages and you're just not comfortable yet with sharing them, especially for some of you that have like premonition type, that's your tune in. I have this as well. But when you get these little imprints about future events and things like that, and you're feeling into them, know that the divine is always going to find its way. So even if you can't be the one, so you get the dreams. So even if you can't be the one to share it, because you just don't understand it yet, or you're still processing it yet, or I don't know, maybe it's just really new to you, and you just don't really know a way to share it, know that it will be shared. Whatever is pertinent will find its way. And then the other thing that they're showing me too, they're showing me that a lot of you are very logical and rational. So this is funny. But if you look down, that you can go down this rabbit hole. There's many rabbit holes you could dive down in a soulful way. But basically, what they're showing me is you're going to find a lot of these inventions, a lot of the things that are happening on the planet, they're not just coming through one person. This is why we see, people arguing about who invented it. It's because it came in from the divine. And that's also why, if you are a channel, you'll notice that you're channeling. This is what happened to me very early on, was I would channel a message and then I'd go on YouTube or something and I'd see a video and it was the exact same thing that I just channeled. And I would be like, what? Do I even post this? What do I do with this? And it's because we're all receiving from the divine. Yeah. Not to mention it's been invented. So, okay. Some of your guardian angels are in my consciousness. Just a moment. me just unpack what they're trying to transmit through me, because it's a lot of geometry. So hello, Joshua Adam. Okay. Just unpacking it's coming through energetically, so those of you that are meant to receive it are going to get it, but so guru feels like the word I need to focus on. So there's 33 people here, which feels like an indicator to me. So remember that there's 33 channels of the heart. There is 33. I'm seeing like the 333 alignment, which is basically, and what they're feeding in now, it feels like we might have Ra as well in the transmission, but the mind, body, spirit complex. Are you familiar with the mind, body, spirit complex? So when I brought up the Abraham Collective earlier, I brought up the Ascended Masters earlier, I haven't brought up the High Council of Light yet, but the High Council of Light. These are social memory complexes. And when we come here on planet Earth, we're in a mind, body, spirit complex. So what's really important for us, if we really want to anchor our soul's light here, is having the ability to scan what I would say is the collective consciousness as it stands, and then also see an octave higher than that. So basically what we're building is, through this mind, body, spirit complex, is our ability to be expanded in expanded states. We can call these transcendental states if we want to have fun. But basically, what we're training ourselves to do, again, is be able to operate very holistically while also having the remembrance that our ego's here for a reason. We're ascending in consciousness, and we're shifting in consciousness. So I mean, a lot of us are, what I'm scanning in the field is that a lot of us like hate our ego, and we're like, yuck, ego. But our ego is actually a very important part of us being here, especially during a golden age period, when we're moving from fear to love. That's what's happening if we want to sum it up. Fear to love. Yeah, and like overstanding, understanding, understanding. Let's take that as an example. So let's find a way in this life to do all of them. So we're going to understand it. We're going to understand it. We're going to understand it. And we're going to overstand it. And we're going to find a way to harmonize these three. Because we don't work with the Ascended Masters so that we can be exactly like them. We're not them. Some of us are in our oversoul. But I won't go into that right now. It's too much for this space. It feels that the message is just remember that in all this expansion and all these transcendental states and all of this ascension, scanning out, we also have to be in the body. Really important. Yeah, a lot of Ascended Masters on Earth right now. Life and death are dual natures, ego death and reintegration rather than pushing down the ego. Yeah. Yep, Eric. Yeah, so parts of the ego are going to die. as we want them to. But then that becomes nourishment for new integrated parts of us. So we're not taking those fearful parts of us, those worried parts of us, those in grief parts of us, those scared parts of us, and like ripping them out and throwing them out. No, we're integrating them. That's how if you don't want to see them keep knocking at your door again and again and again, we have to process and integrate. Otherwise, we're just going to see loops. Our uniqueness is our perfection. Yes. Individuality. Put that as ego. Well, it is and it isn't. So what I want to share is our souls each have unique qualities, unique expressions, unique embodiments. The uniqueness isn't just the ego, you know? I totally hear what you're saying, Master Michelle, by the way. But it just feels like we were getting a little like, you know. No, that's our soul too. Yeah. So it's, okay, let's get 4. This is a weird style today. It's kind of like what I'm surrendering to. I'll share you my lesson right now in life, just to keep it a little bit more human. We're getting perseverance. If we really want to help planet Earth right now, we're getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. If we really want to help planet Earth right now, we're getting to know our unique divine soul blueprint, yes. But we're also appreciating every other divine soul blueprint. So basically what we're getting away from is, you know, we can use the narcissistic word. We can use it if we want, but I really think we need to get away from that word if I'm being honest. I think it's turning into more of a trick bag than anything for us as a collective consciousness. But so for a lot of us, we're kind of going back underneath these layers of our ego that didn't let us be our full, unique, bloomed self. And now that we're doing that again, we're like, oh, wow, I've got flowers in here that are budding. Oh, wow, I've got stuff blooming in here. And that's beautiful. Like, take the time to smell those flowers, smell those roses. But we're not thinking that, we're not getting so hyper fixated on our specific divine soul blueprint that we forget that everyone else has one too. Because we really are here to be one. We're each holding the spark of the divine within us. Each and every single one of us. Even those people that you think are asleep. They have the spark of the divine in them. If they didn't, they wouldn't be here in this body, in these bodies. Ron, that really isn't something that I would do here, because when I channel on things like that, we get really private information, so it's really not the space to be doing something like that. And also, okay, yeah, this is coming through again. It's going to be a little, maybe challenging for us to hear again. Maybe not. Let's see. This goes along with the conversation we're having. So when it comes to us helping others, our spouses, our children, our parents, our friends, our family, our whatever, this is what I'm being shown. The best way we can help them is remembering that they are divine. Remembering that they have a divine soul blueprint. The best way we can help them is by becoming fully healed and whole within ourselves, so that we can be the reflection to them that they really do need. And then also remember that however we're judging anyone outside of us, and you know, especially the people that are close to us, as hard as that may sound, whatever we're judging them for, or thinking is wrong with them. That's coming out. Thinking is wrong with them. What if that is in us? That's the way that we can help them. Because it's what I'm sensing is a lot of us here, and that will watch this in the future, you want to help people outside of you. You really do. And it's coming from a good place in your heart. It's coming from a really loving, good place. But because we each have these individual egos, these individual histories, and individual DNA structures, We truly cannot know what is best for another. I know we want to. I know. But those people that are really struggling are going to need to find the power and the strength within themselves. And we can help them do that. But we have to be careful about when we're becoming the, and evangelism is coming up. So when we're, and some of you may have had this happen, like someone coming to you and saying your soul is doomed unless you do a certain thing or go to a certain place or make a certain statement or commitment in yourself. Some of you know what I'm saying. I won't speak more to this. But no one outside of us is going to help us by saying something is wrong with us. No one from outside of us is going to help us by saying, I know how to fix you. So I just want all of us to remember to a time that someone came to you and said, I know what's wrong with you. I'm going to fix you. Did that make you feel good? Did that empower you? So we're doing this thing again where we're putting ourselves in the other person's shoes while also realizing that we're not in their shoes. So the way that we truly do, and it feels like the reminder that we all need in this group, in this collective, is those people that we really want to help, embody love. That's how you're going to help them. I promise you. Learn to fully coat yourself in love. Trust yourself. Learn to listen to your heart. Remember how to listen to your heart. Embody that love and peace and calm when you're with these other people, and it will have an effect. They can. They can, Eric, but the message I'm getting from Spirit about this is sovereignty. So if we're going to a practitioner, an energy healer, an oracle channeling, whatever it is that we're exchanging in, we need to be very cognizant about, am I giving this person my power? Am I expecting them to hold the keys for me? And sometimes people will hold the keys. They'll hold a key to something within you. So this is just a reminder of sovereignty, empowerment, of the serenity prayer. So remembering what you have control over and what you don't. Wow, we went down some tricky topics in this one today. Thank you all for being here. The fear of the magician is unintended consequences. The fear of the magician. That's interesting. That's one I'm going to be unpacking and processing, I will say. Yeah, let go. So, any of you that are feeling like this brought up some stuff, shake out the hands and just let it go. We moved through some topics, some densities today. Let's shake out the hands and let it go. I'm going to light some sage. It feels like light language wants to come through. And then those of you that are here that are not familiar with light language and you're like finding intriguing by it, you're intrigued, you can observe. Those of you that are used to light language and you know its potency, just decide if this is the right time to take this in. This is going to be uploaded to my Energy Healing membership, which, by the way, is so the spiritual war thing. The light has won. But we're still going to see remnants as it cleanses across the timelines, across the time-space continuum. We're going to see remnants. So we're going to get a little tonic. We're going to get a little light language tonic now. It feels like we've got the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans. The Lyrans, the Avians. I'll speak a little bit to the Avians. So the Avians are interdimensional, very watery beings, the way that I tune into them anyway, but you'll tune into them in your own way. This light language is going to help us be soulfully embodied. And this light language is going to help us to clear out any clutter. In other words, we're going to be clearing out any projections of others. We're going to be clearing out any loops or time repetitions from our ancestral wounding, our ancestral lines. This is also going to, if you participate in this, this is going to sound weird to some of you, whatever. Some of your ancestry that is, how do I explain this? Any of your ancestry that's struggling with ascension, they will be aided by this. Also, any of your spaces, if you choose to have this be the case for you, that need to be cleared, they will be cleared. So in other words, anything that's in your space that's resonating with fear, or that's allowed to stay in the space from fear, we're going to turn that fear back into love. So the glue is going to be basically turning into water. And anything that is ready to float, ascend, will. Yeah, so it feels potent. Are you guys ready for this? Do we want this? Do we want me to do this? Or is it a little bit too much after that reading of potency? Does anybody want the light language at the end? If I get a few yeses. Ready? Joshua, yes. Anthony's ready. Okay, Universal offering. Pat, Jen. Okay, Mel. Shannon. Okay, so then, Mark, so we're going to go for it. Then the thing that I would really suggest after you take this in, and if you're driving or operating machinery, just press pause. I'll put it on my YouTube. I'm here to serve. So, yeah, but you don't want to be driving or operating machinery when I bring this through because it might activate some of your, I'm getting kicked out. Yeah, but you don't want to be driving or operating machinery when I bring this through because it might activate some of your, I'm getting kicked out. I probably just looped really some of your, I'm getting kicked out. I probably just looped really funny. I'm kind of excited to see that back because it'll be hilarious. I'm back. Everybody's still here and ready for that light language. Okay. I'm back on, right? Everyone can see me, hear me? It's probably backwards now on that thing. Let's see. Are we all still ready for the light language? Cool. Okay. So at an hour on TikTok, it gets me out. But, okay. I'm actually being told to plant my feet on the ground. So if you are taking this in, and you can be seated with your feet planted on the ground. The Matrix was not ready. It's ready now. The dragons had to like do their little thing. Okay. All right. So we're going to start out by taking just a few really deep clarifying breaths through the bottom of your feet. So you're going to breathe in from above your head, down through your vessel. And then release it beneath your feet. So breathe that divine light in. Release it through your feet. One more of those. Breathe the divine light in. And then just really bring the breath back to your normal pace. Consciously scan your body and just release any stagnancy, any stuckness, any tension. And if you're ready to receive, then just say yes again in your mind's eye. Breathe deeply. What I am, Some of you might feel some wings from your chakras. Allow the expansion, allow the lightness, allow the joy and the love from the center of each one of your chakras now. Consciously open your heart. Okay, I'm seeing a very, very soft blue and pink light that's going to wash the whole field. The pink light is a compassionate light that's really nurturing you and soothing you. And then the blue light is going to be this very, very powerful and magnetic elixir of sparkling, healing light that clarifies, that cleanses, and that brightens your chakra system from the center of your being. It anchors your chakra system deep into Mama Gaia, into the oversoul of Mama Gaia. Feeling the monads now as we bring this last portion in. Balancing the masculine and feminine. Let yourself expand. Let yourself be planted. Those of you that feel courting, we're sending in some golden elixirs now. We've got the Chrysolite family coming in with this courting. Everyone that's part of this courting is going to get a healing right now, if you choose it, and they choose it. Terea tuka sanaraya turonaraya tiria ket. Toro 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 tunye kerea tutu shuno toroi. Kerea tu no toro toro no narakara nesia. Toro toro toro. They're finding these very deep pockets of all of you that are in doubt or you're in repression. They're going into those pockets and they're reminding you of who you really are. Before the wounding, had a chance to build these patterns that are disempowering and that are not even you. Hiad narana kara tusra kanre siria ko narara tarani kerira sunatarani keriyama. Mama Gaia is coming in. She's going to ground these codes now for us. I'm seeing a lot of you had a lot washed. Ooh, we're getting a howlite charging. This is going to really soften and bring peace. And then some of you I'm seeing weight on your shoulders is being lifted. You can even pull it off. And if you're feeling it back there, your hands are these magical tools. Let's use them. So let's just take any of that that's coming off the back, maybe that was holding you back through guilt, through shame, through programming, through ancestral trauma, through ancestral wounding. It's getting upgraded now. You're getting your wings back. I'm also seeing like some netting that was around some of your fields that was kind of like, they're giving me the imagery of like you were like stuck in a net. That net is now being turned into this like beautiful iridescent liquid. We've got the dragons here now. They're taking some of these little fragments, these cords that have just been alchemized, gosh, and they're like making them seeds of light, of divine expression. They're working in the third eye now. Allow. They're softening in the third eye. They're softening in the root. They're softening in the sacral. Whew. They're softening in the solar plexus. They're harmonizing the heart space. And they're sharing use your voice as they move into the throat. And then they're sharing some of you that are having any kind of issues in the ears. Place your hands over them now. Allow. Okay, now they're just going to take the crown and they're just, they're putting a violet pyramid around the crown chakra so that it can continue to activate the violet flame within you as you integrate these. What they're showing me is more of your lights now free from your center. Okay, so they're almost done. Thank you for staying. Okay, they're grounding us. They're putting shields around all of us. I'll share what they're showing me. And then feel free to share in the comments what kind of shields you're feeling around your energetic system now that are always there. But when we see them and notice them there, they become more pronounced. And they help us to awaken lovingly and protected. So I'm seeing Merkabas, lots of spirals. So it's a spiral that goes around your entire pillar of light. So all the way up into your soul star, all the way down into Mama Gaia, there's these spirals being placed now. And protecting you and also reminding you what they're showing me is your ability. Mirror balls. So anyone that's got projections in their life, put those mirror balls on. Those projections will stop right quick. Hear me now. Because whoever's throwing projections at you, they're going to start to see the ugliness of that. And it might trigger them at first, but eventually it'll really, really help them so that they can go within and do their own work and stop projecting. Okay, so I'm also seeing some more pyramids. So lots of pyramids are being placed over you. I'm seeing the indigo flame, cloak of reflection, beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. It doesn't hurt to put some mirrors on that shielding, Jen. It's so helpful. In the beginning, it might not feel helpful, but I promise you it is helpful. Okay. And they're also showing me many of you noticed iridescent pearls. Oh, that's so beautiful. If you sense the pearl energy, it's time for you to dive into how you connect with your crystalline DNA expression. They don't want me to say any more than that. Ta-da, nada. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. Okay. They're closing up. They're putting patches on any kind of holes that you may have had previously in your aura. They will never return. They will never return. They will never return. Those holes are patched. You are sovereign in your power. And the next time you feel like you're stuck in a net, call on your guides. Dissolve it into a pearl-like energy. Maybe take that net and use your imagination. I'm going to show the card one more time. Take that net, pull that net out and go, maybe I can make a jeweled vest with this. Maybe I'll make this into jewelry. Maybe. Be playful with your healing. That's what they're sharing. And anyone that you feel is in need of healing, just go ahead and call upon your pillar of light, which connects directly into Source, God Creator. And say, please help these people. We can pray for others. can pray for others. When we call on the divine to help others, that's when we can be of service. Just remembering that when we are very close to the others, we can be a mirror for them. But their connection to the divine, their direct connection to the divine is what will inevitably heal them. We can help them by believing in that for them. Until they do too. I hope that helped in some way, Ron. All right, so thank you, Master Michelle. And thank you to Shop 2.0. Well, I just want to express my gratitude for having you all here. A lot of you are new here, and so thank you for trusting me and jumping in and letting yourself shine. It feels like the closing message today is... Oh, I gotta blow out this candle. It feels like... Thank you, Anthony and Jen. It feels like the message is just, it's safe to shine. And then it feels like the message too is all of those aspirations and dreams of ours to help those outside of us, those are a beautiful quality of us. You know, we can realize that we don't get to decide the free will of another while also still having a true heart intention to want to help. You know, it's just about, how do I help in a way that empowers? How do I help in a way that allows both me and this other person or this other group to feel empowered, to be in a love vibration? Yeah. Okay. So before I close it out, does anyone have any questions about the way that you are practicing your self-healing? About just by loving? Yeah, it's so simple. And that's why the mind will scrap it and say it's like not enough, but the soul knows. So if you resonated with this, I do have a How Much is an Akashic Record session. I'm going to provide the full honest answer here. So all of my sessions are going to be utilizing the Akashic Records. There's kind of no way around it. But if you really want to actually access the Akashic Records, that's my higher self portal. Because that's truly what we're doing, is we're connecting with our higher self that is fully in the know of the Akashic Records and of our soul history. So, and also remembering it's simultaneous. So it's all very complex. But I think that session is 144, I want to say. Because it does quite a number on me. My body is used as a instrument, a vessel to heal others. So I have global clientele. There is no time or space when we're being real about it. And you can contact me. You can email me at soulhealingwithbree@gmail.com. And then my website, soulhealingwithbree.com, has all of my booking information to book a one-to-one. We can always do a mini oracle read if you're not sure. That's the shortest and least expensive session to get curious and explore. And my energy healing membership is $11 a month. And I do a full healing in there every single month. It's been going for like 5 months. Everything stacks in the membership, plus all of these stack in the membership. I think there's like 20 or so. And they're all healings. You know, it's oracle healing. Words. Earth. 555. You know? All right, I love you all so much. Any questions that come up in the future, I'll always let you know if you send me a question and it's like something that I have to do a session with. I'll usually be able to feel that pretty palpably. If I can answer your question, of course I will. But if it feels like something, I'll typically just ask my guidance, can I answer this message-wise, or do I need to have a session? And they'll kind of give me the download there. And it's depending on a lot of variables. Thank you all for being here. I will post this again on my YouTube and my energy healing membership. YouTube is playing around with commercials and stuff. It's like I don't know how to prevent the commercials anymore. I got to 1,000 followers there, and I thought it would be able to prevent me to do it, but people are telling me it's not working. So we'll just have to, see. Mini Akashic reading not available at checkout. If you're having any issues with anything, just give me an email. We'll sort it out. All right. So don't forget to hydrate. Big important message to close this out. Do not forget to hydrate. I'm saying this with like full love. Hydration is going to be what allows you to really integrate this, because this was really pretty potent today. We went out to like the 7th, 8th dimension in our rounding. A little bit from the 12th, but not a lot. Some of you that'll make sense. Some of you, you're like, who is this wacky woman? And I'm okay with all of it. I love you all. Let's take one deep breath together. Namaste.